This is part 3 of building a Lego city. Last time I built what looks like the city hall. I'm not quite sure what sort of building it is yet. All of my buildings are effectively modulars sat on smooth plates, so they can easily be removed for working on and put back afterwards. If you want to see how I built the raised section of the city, which has railway tracks running under it, that's all in part 1. I used an awful lot of green bricks, and also the new Lego road system, so everything's on 16x16 stud squares. Last time I started building the city wall, and I've done a little bit more on that now. You can see there's a gap behind the building where we don't really need it, but the wall just brings it right up to the skyline. I placed some trees just so you can't see the seam in the wall, and I worked on those in part 2 as well. Eventually there'll be something in those arches so the road goes into the distance, but for now it's allowed me to populate the park. But we just need to finish off the end of the city wall there where the park is. So I wanted to add some more features here instead of just having a blank grey wall, so I've got these arch features with masonry style bricks, and I'm also using some modified bricks so I can put some foliage and so on the surface. The top of the wall has a railing along, and that means I can have some minifigures who are going on a journey and just having a look over. I thought I'd brighten up the park a bit and add some rose bushes or vines climbing up the wall, and that looks pretty good I think. So now we can put the trees back in and some other features, including a skateboarder, the ice cream truck, we've also got the popcorn stand which is a poly bag set, as well as the hot dog stand with a couple of chefs, and one of those is a really 80s or 90s Lego minifigure, and we've also got the balloon truck with a couple of other characters enjoying a day out in the park. Well, it's time for another building, and as before those plates just lift out and they're just resting on smooth tiles on that raised structure. I've already started to lay down the pavement, including the curbstone and a raised step so that we can get in through the door. This building's going to be quite interesting because it has a 45-degree angle on the corner. We need a couple of raised plates to get over the smooth plates where the 45-degree angle fits, which is going to be mounted on hinges. So I'm just filling in what will be the inside of the building here, and this is going to be a music shop, so I've got some guitars on stands which are going to show out through the two main windows, and one of those will be sloped at 45 degrees. All the walls and the front door all need to be raised up by 2 plates roughly, and I still need to leave space to get those flat hinges in so that we can put that 45-degree angle on. So I've replaced the grey ones with white all the way round so it's consistent, and now we have our 2 windows and the guitars neatly show out through them as if they're on display. So now we need to raise everything up by 2 plates so we can build the walls, and everything's at the same level to get building. I'm using some modified bricks on the front here so we can put some tiles on and give ourselves some more features. I found this 1x8 stud brick with dealer written on it on Bricklink, so I thought that would be quite useful, but I also found some other music related tiles which I'm going to stick on the front. So pretty happy with the look of that. Unfortunately I've run out of floor tiles for the inside, but we've got another feature to add there later. So now it's just a matter of building up all of the walls in 1 stud thick bricks. Looking pretty good. Let's add some tiles to the front now to give ourselves some extra features, and I'm just using standard blue tiles. I also found these musical note tiles, which is rather good, so they fit on there rather nicely, just to set the whole thing off. So now it's time for a layer of blue plates, and this would be where the floor would go if I had any plates that fitted, so for now I'm building the whole thing with no floors, but I might come back and put them in later. I've run out of floor tiles, so I decided to put a desk with a computer and a dude in there who looks like he knows about guitars. So I think that just sets it off quite nicely, and you can't really see that I ran out of floor tiles at the back. So with a couple of extra hinge bricks just to tie the top of those windows together, we can now brick up and build the next floor. I'm trying to use blue windows where I can, but there's quite a limited amount on Bricklink, at least in the UK, and they cost around £1 in money each. For this floor you'll notice I've got some more modified bricks, and I found some more music related tiles which look quite good on this building. So a few more hinge plates and we're ready to build up the back of the building again. I'm pretty happy with the look of that so far, and the next floor is very similar and just continues upwards, so it's quite a simple building, at least until we get to the roof and we have to deal with that 45-degree angle. So time for one final layer of blue plates before we put the roof on. And you'll notice I replaced the ones at the front with smooth tiles so we can get a 45-degree plate on with some roof tiles on top. And that seems to fit, and the width is roughly 9 studs. It seems to fit if we wiggle it on, so that's looking pretty good and sets off that angle for the 45-degree piece of the roof. We now need to bring everything up by another plate to match that, and we can get some roof tiles on. I'm starting with 1x3 roof tiles, and that's to match what we have to do on the 45-degree corner. The rest of the roof is just going to be standard 45-degree tiles. So here's the critical corner tile, and without those 1x3s either side, then that wouldn't reach all 3 studs it needs to sit on. The rest come up at 45 degrees, and that means we need that 1 stud brick in so that we can get the angle right to match the rest of the roof. So I just filled the rest of this in now with standard tiles. Of course I'm building this hollow, so quite a few of them fell inside and I had to tip the building up to tip them out again, but I eventually got there and managed to get the whole roof together, with the whole building completely hollow. And here comes my final corner tile, which brings us up to the full height for the roof. So let's fill in a few more tiles and hopefully everything's worked out. Except it hasn't, and there's a funny step that I can't do much about. So I'm just going to fill that in with some extra bricks that I happen to have spare, and decide whether to put some ridge tiles on the top. Yep, I think that looks okay, from the front at least, so let's stick those down. So now it's a bit of a funny shape, but lots of old buildings have funny shaped roofs. So it's time to drop that building back in where we got the plate, and that drops in nicely. I had a couple of appropriate minifigures hanging around, so we might as well stick those on the pavement for now. And of course there's at least 2 more buildings in the block to the left of that building, and lots more to build in the Lego City, which is actually a very busy place already, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates, and also check out the Creative Brick Builds Instagram for almost daily updates and pictures from the Lego City.